This video is brought to you by Storyblocks Video.
Hey guys, Jordy here for Cinecom.net. I'm gonna do this very quickly because Jennings is in the WATERBAG and he doesn't have much time to breathe. So let's roll the intro of this. Here's a video from Billie Eilish, the bad guy. Roll the intro.
Sorry for that weird intro, but I needed Janek to do the effect, so I definitely didn't want him to die. Anyways, for the past 2 weeks we've been working super hard on our short film. It were very late nights and early mornings, but it was one heck of an experience. I'm going to talk more about that in the next Tuesday video, but because we're all so tired, we thought, let's recreate something simple today. And oh boy, were we wrong. But let's start with a big shout out to our sponsor, Storyblocks Video. It's an online library packed with studio quality stock clips, video effects, animations, presentations, logo reveals, and so much more. There's only a single price per year which allows you to download as many video assets as you want without additional fees. You can use anything for personal and commercial work, which makes their library so interesting. Now I can highly recommend to try it out and see for yourself what you can find in the Storyblocks library. For more information, you can click the first link in your description below. Now the floating head in a water bag is inspired by the music video Bad Guy from Billie Eilish. A very eccentric but well executed music video. Really love the styles in it. Now we thought it was easy to do. You set up a green screen, lean over it, put your head in the bag and fill it up with water. Now we lost counts, but it failed way too many times.
Sometimes you think these effects go really easy, but they're actually not. It's not just about filling up a bag and that's it. No, this is really hard. Damn it. Hey.
No hole, I just bucketed it next to it. Is that a word? Bucketed it? I threw next to it. We have company. A simple bag filled with water is not working. So Janek, what's the plan? What shall we do?
The same as we are trying, but this time correctly. Cut.
Okay. Take, what is it now, 10? Something like that. So Janek, how is it hanging there?
I don't know.
This right here, we got Janek in the water bag, and he has this snorkel through which he can breathe. We made it a little bit longer because else his pipe would be somewhere here and he'd be stuck in the plastic bag. But he's doing great. You're doing great, Janek. Look at this. Why do you always do such stupid things? Right now I'm vlogging with the red camera, which is going great. Anyways, you want to make sure that your green screen doesn't get wet, because that is going to be hard to key out. So that's why Lorenzo there in the back is currently drying the water from the green screen. Oh man, this red is heavy. Let's just put it back on a tripod.
I think it wasn't waterproof. I think.
This is so hard to do.
Oh, God damn it.
It's one of the hardest effects we've ever done. And we thought it's simple. You put your head in a water bag, green screen. It's that simple, but it's not. It's super hard. Anyways, we did several things wrong, and in this video, we're gonna show you what we did wrong so that you can do it right from the first try. All right, let's sit back together and figure out what we're doing wrong. You know what? Let's do a quick search to see if there is a behind the scenes. And guess what? There was one. Yep, we should have done that from the start. Anyways, here's the whole deal. When you fill up the bag with water, it expands. So you add more water, which only increases the weight of the bag and making the whole stunt more dangerous. Now, we were working with a snorkel for Janek, but that's actually super dangerous. So by looking at the behind the scenes, we figured out a way to do this safe. Although I must say that you'll need to put in your full attention before starting. It's still a dangerous stunt. If you're a minor, don't do it. Ask help from an adult and make good agreements up front. You take a piece of plastic and tape the long sides together so that you'll get a long tube. You can also use a long plastic bag, but make sure that it's not much wider than a person's head. Next, take a bucket and remove the bottom. Through here, you pull the plastic cone and tape it sturdy. We're gonna use the handle of the bucket to attach a rope to. Swing that rope over a beam or anything else in the ceiling. You could also use a large tree. Now this setup allows you to pull the bag up and down, which is a safety measurement. And now Janek can stick his head in the bottom of the plastic and we're going to tape it to his neck. And make sure that no water can come through. You can then lower the bucket and fill the plastic up with water. Now since the cone of the plastic sits so tight around his face, you don't need much water. Janek can perfectly breathe with the bucket down, and when we pull it up, his head will go underwater. Now we took 2 safety measurements before we started shooting. We agreed that we won't hold up the bucket longer than 30 seconds, even if Janek could hold his breath for a minute. And second, Janek would raise his hands when he wants the bucket to go down. So that's it for the setup. Then place your camera on a tripod and let it roll. Don't forget to take an empty shot as well. Now, essentially, what we're gonna have to do now is mask out the bag of water, and that's it. But since that's gonna be a whole lot of work, I'm gonna show you several different techniques to do so. We're gonna start inside Adobe Premiere Pro to get a basic understanding. Place your empty shot in the bottom of the timeline and the normal shot on top of it. With it selected, head over to the opacity properties and click on the pen tool to draw a mask around the water bag and Janek to remove it. But since he's moving, we're gonna have to enable animation for the mask path and adjust it with every frame. And this takes a lot of time, but it works. If you want it to go faster, we're gonna have to jump into Adobe After Effects. Here we are gonna use a tool called Rotor Brush. Now this only works on the source layer, so make sure to double-click on your clip in the timeline. With this tool, we can make a selection of the parts that we want to be masked out. Hold down your Alt key to bring up the red selection tool, through which we can define the areas that we don't want in the selection. When you're done, simply press the space bar to play your clip. The rotoscoping will automatically animate its mask. However, you are gonna need enough contrast. If there's not or there are too many movements, the mask will go wrong. Now you can hit pause and adjust by again drawing these green and red selections, but for our example, we found out it didn't work so well. So that brings us to the final and third option. Inside After Effects, search for the Mocha plugin and drag that to your clip. With the effects options, launch Mocha. It's gonna open up a dedicated tracking program. Now start by changing your workspace to Roto. From the toolbox, take the pen tool to draw your mask around the water bag. When you're done, you can click on the Track Forward button. Now Mocha actually does a great job at keeping the tracking. If it does go wrong, pause the tracking, go back in time and adjust your mask. When you're done, just click on the Save icon and close Mocha. Then go back into the Mocha effect, expand Matte, and click on Create AE Masks. And that will give you a perfect mask around your water bag that is following the movements. Now just simply place the empty shot underneath and that same normal shot as well. Using the pen tool from After Effects, we can now draw a rough mask around your second subject, which is me in this case. Now this step is only needed if you have someone else in your shot. At a certain point, I touched the water bag. So right here, we did have to enable animation for the mask path and adjust it over time. But since it's only for a brief moment, it didn't take that long. And that's it! The super easy effects we tried pulling off since we all needed to catch some sleep. But that didn't happen. Anyways, we learned something new today and I had so much fun doing it again. Thank you so much for watching, thank you Storyblocks for the support, and like always, stay creative. That went great. Perfect.
Right.
Look how wet he is. Hear that sound? We could start an ASMR channel.